Square, rectangular, and circular isolated footings explained. What are isolated footings? Before diving into the shapes, let's understand what isolated footings are. Isolated footings are individual footings used to support single columns. They're one of the most basic and most widely used types of shallow foundations in construction. Their primary role is to transfer loads from the column to the underlying soil safely and evenly. Now, depending on the shape and load conditions, isolated footings can be square, rectangular, or circular, each with specific applications and advantages. Square isolated footing. A square footing is, as the name suggests, a square slab of concrete placed under a column. When is it used? When the load from the column is symmetrical and relatively low to moderate. When the soil-bearing capacity is uniform in all directions. When the column is centrally located without space restrictions. Advantages. Easy to design and construct. Economical in terms of material and labor. Provides equal load distribution in both X and Y directions. Good for residential and small commercial buildings. Design tip. The length and width are equal, so the design calculations are straightforward. Engineers ensure that the soil pressure under the footing doesn't exceed the safe bearing capacity of the soil. Where you see it. Under single-story buildings. Light industrial sheds. Small warehouse columns. Rectangular isolated footing. A rectangular isolated footing has a length greater than its width. It is designed for columns with unequal load distribution or space constraints. When is it used? When the column carries higher loads in one direction. When the column has a rectangular cross-section. When space limitations make square footings impractical. Advantages. Better suited for uneven load conditions. Can be used near property lines or boundaries. Can be optimized to reduce material usage under certain loading conditions. Design consideration. Length and width are selected based on the load in each direction. More reinforcement may be needed along the longer span to handle bending moments. Where you see it. High-load columns in buildings. Industrial buildings with large equipment loads. Near-edge columns where footing cannot be centered. Circular isolated footing. Circular footings are round slabs provided under circular or round columns, commonly used in special structures. When is it used? When the column is circular or cylindrical in shape. For aesthetic or architectural purposes in circular buildings. When uniform stress distribution is desired in radial directions. Advantages. Excellent symmetry in stress distribution. Better resistance to differential settlement under uniform conditions. Easy formwork and less cutting of reinforcement for round columns. Design characteristics. The radius of the footing is calculated so that the contact pressure doesn't exceed the soil's capacity. Reinforcement is typically provided in radial and circumferential directions. Where you see it. Silos, chimneys, water tanks. Circular piers or bridge supports. Monuments and towers. Comparison between the three. Feature square footing, rectangular footing, circular footing. Shape square length is not equal to width circular. Best for column type square/rectangular, rectangular, circular. Load direction uniform, uneven, or directional radial. Complexity simple, moderate, simple to moderate. Use cases homes, light buildings, boundaries, heavy load silos, chimneys. Which one should you use? Choosing the shape of isolated footing depends on a few critical factors. Column shape and size. Match the footing shape to the column shape for better load transfer. A load intensity. Heavier loads may require rectangular footings for proper spread. Soil conditions. Uniform soils may work well with square or circular, but weak soils may need larger rectangular footing. Space constraints. Use rectangular footings near boundaries or tight plots. Proper soil testing and structural analysis are always essential before finalizing the footing size and shape. Closing thoughts. Whether square, rectangular, or circular, isolated footings are silent heroes that support our structures every day. Their shape may seem like a small detail, but it plays a huge role in how effectively the loads are carried and distributed into the earth. With the right design, they ensure stability, safety, and longevity. If you're a student or an engineer trying to grasp the real-world application of these footing types, remember, Good foundation design starts from understanding the ground and matching the right footing to the right situation.